Hey guys, Tim here, aka VS Customs of So Crawl. Now, I know some of you out there have been waiting for this review. I said I was going to do a review on an XS01. I've seen a couple other reviews. I mean, people talking about building it. People are just running it stock. I'm going to give you a full-on review and what my thoughts are. Not a biased opinion. I was supplied the truck from RCMart and Xtra Speed, and I thank you for that. So, but I want to give you guys a full review. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to say, buy this truck, it's amazing. No, I am going to tell you that it is amazing. And I am going to tell you that I am thoroughly impressed with it. But nothing sways my opinion. First of all, I would like to say I am obsessed with these Xtra Speed JK bodies. This is my second one I've done. They are absolutely beautiful. They look as realistic as possible. I mean, the taillights aren't exactly proper on them, so I opted out to change it and drop on a set of old school axial light buckets. Painted red, work perfect, look amazing. Other than that, I'm thoroughly impressed with these bodies. You know, I have it rolling down hills, I'm beating it up. I don't drive my stuff, you know, ever so nicely and gently. It gets scratched up, I don't care, I don't make shelf queens here. I do like them, the fact that the doors open up. The rear doors don't open up, they are stationary because this is the version 2. So it has the proper rear door versus the tiny little one that comes in the version 1 that does open up. But we're not here to talk about the body, even though we touched on it a little bit. And I like the fact that it comes with magnet mounts and it just pops off. But it doesn't pop off easily when you're on the trails. It's great. That's about it. Let's move on to the piece we are here to talk about. Now, I was smart, and I also tossed in one of the new Racing 5 Armature Motors that they've come out with. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. You know, I trailed all day. I had no problems. I actually heated it up once, and I'll touch on that in a second. I got it pretty hot. But, and then it continued to run. It's not an issue, not a hiccup, not a problem. So I'm definitely going to be running more of those motors in more of my rigs that I'm building, especially that one right there. And I don't know if I'll be switching back to brushless at all. Brush just seems to go, has nice wheel speed. But let's talk about this bad boy right here, the Xtra Speed XS01 with 2-speed transmission. Now, for the most part, this is like a heavily upgraded SCX 10.2. It comes with aluminum axles, all metal gears inside of it, CVDs on it, everything. And a nice drive shaft design. It's a tubular design, really easy, but really strong. Aluminum links, aluminum skid, aluminum bumpers. It comes with aluminum, you know, shock mounts. It comes with everything, including a 2-speed transmission with a forward-mounted motor. I mean, what more can you ask for? This is kind of the rig people are asking for this stuff, and Xtra Speed has delivered. Now, I'm blown away by the weight. I mean, this has good weight on the trails. It was stuck to the ground. I don't know. I only have good things to say about it. You know, people were asking me about it on the day on the G6, and I just blown away. Now I have made a couple of changes. The shocks that it comes with, and maybe this is my personal opinion, maybe this is just me myself. They are an RC 4-wheel drive style shock, so they're like the King shock. They're small valve. They don't have a lot of tunability other than adjusting the spring rate. So you're down to what shock oil you run in there, and how you can get about it that way. For me, I drive a little bit harder. I like to bump it up onto stuff. I like to have a nice soft giving suspension. You know, something that's, you know, as Matt Cat has showed me, you kind of just push down on it, feel how it goes. But no, honestly, I ran a set of G-Made XDs, 85 mil on this, so a little bit shorter. Obviously a bigger valve body in it, but they're kind of similar to running a set of Tamiya shocks. They're nice and buttery smooth, no problems, no leaks. So that would be my one suggestion, is maybe because of the weight of the rig, maybe looking at changing the shocks on it. The other one for me, and maybe this was my personal opinion, I'm a big tire kind of Jeep guy. The tires that came on, actually let me grab one here, are nice. I mean, they're a sticky kind of tire, very similar to the MST tire, but size-wise, they just didn't work for me for the Jeep. So I opted to change out, and not anything that there was any problem with the bead locks that came on it, but I changed out to a widened offset set of LockedUP RC wheels, crawler innovation foams, and two-stage foams, and pit bull tires. And one of the reasons why is I like the pit bull tire. I like the way this all looks on a Jeep body combo. So nothing against these tires. Run them. I would recommend changing the foams out in them if you are going to run them, just because for a single stage, you know, just a soft foam, they kind of do squish down. So for a heavy rig like this with a heavy body on it, to get a good trail out of it, definitely change the foams, but you could run these tires. They are very soft. As you can see, they're very pliable. Other than that, I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed with the design, the layout, everything. Everything came pre-greased. You know, I opened up all the diffs, everything was greased. I opened up the transmission, and all inside, everything was greased. I'm like, wow, like, okay, no offense, but you don't get that kind of you know, pleasure in axial. They kind of, and that's it, just a little dabble on there. Another great feature of this chassis is it comes with a nice battery plate that also can house your ESC, your receiver, the power switch for your ESC, all on there. So I ran a 2200 mAh 3S battery on there, not an issue at all. Other than that, as you can see, it's all motor forward. Comes with a nice pretty little motor cover. One thing I would recommend, and that's if you like to run in high gear a lot, is put a fan on here. By the looks of it, there's 4 holes. I mean, you could screw something to get, you know, a little fan on there, and I would mount a fan on the front. Just because I found out, because when I didn't have time to get my servo going, these essentially mount the other way. I like my body sitting a little lower, so I had to mount them down so that I still had some skid plates. But I locked it, not thinking, into high. Well, when I was trailing, and you guys that know and that run 2-speed transmissions realize when you run on high all day long, it tends to get really hot. So I was, what I was thinking was me losing battery power, was me trying to cook the motor. So I quickly undid everything, wrapped an elastic band around, locked it in low, and I ran it for the rest of the day, and everything ran cool. So it was really nice that way. But just goes to show you the 2-speed mechanism in this works. My thing is just figuring out how I'm going to set it up so that it locks in. Now it is a pretty simple design on the inside. You know, it switches a center pinion from one gear to the other, locks them in. Pretty straightforward, so you shouldn't have any problems there when shifting on the fly. I ran out of time. Is my honest side of it all, but I do know it works, and it works really well. The other side of it all is the motor setup. So they've split the housing here, so the top half of the transmission bell housing come off. You can put your motor in, you can set your gap, everything like that. You can see it, put your motor bell housing back on, your transmission bell housing back on, and away you go. Now the the transfer case and the transmission are all one. You can take it all apart, you can grease it all up, you can service it all. They are all metal gears in there, so there is no plastic. Again, you could run brushed or brushless on this, and it can take the abuse. So for the price of this rig, and I mean, we're talking about with the body, $379, no complaints. I would do a couple of upgrades, a couple of changes, but you don't have to do much. And just to show you, it's very similar to an SCX-10. That is a Vanquish Ripper bumper bolted on there. Because again, I wanted something narrow for the Jeep, and it was a straight bolt on. So, for you guys looking for something different, you know, you don't want to buy an axial, you don't want to buy, I don't know, anything that's out there that you're looking at that might be breaking. I mean, no offense to the Red Cat guys, but I see lots of axles on those portal axles breaking. MST. But I would look at going this route. You know, for the price of it, the bang for the buck, as I'm almost dropping it here. As you can see, it is a little front heavy. That gives you a bit of advantage getting those front wheels down. Again, no added weight. I see guys wrapping a lot of weights inside their wheels. You don't need it. You just build this truck, put it together. These are factory pieces that come with the body, and it just works. Now, I trimmed down the rear bumper. It was wider, came out to here. A little too wide for this body, but again, you can just trim it down. It's all metal, doesn't matter. Blast of black paint, and that's it. So, to conclude this out, I like it. I actually more than like it, I love it. I sold my MST CFXW because I loved it that much. I had to pick a Jeep and I picked that one. Not that there's any problem with the MST, but I just like the overall weight of this truck. It feels good, it drives good. Again, a couple of tweaks here and there. I mean, that's part of tuning any rig and tuning to your driving style. But I'd highly recommend it, for sure. No problems, no breakages. I mean, I had it bound up in rocks. I bounced it off rocks, I rolled it down rocks. I beat it up, I think, worse than my MST last year. I mean, you can see the scuffs a little bit, ooh, boo-boos on the axles, but that's it. So, check it out if you're interested in looking for a new rig. Don't turn it away just because it's a quiet duck in the background. Xtra Speed, RCMart, you know you want one. That's it, that's all. I'm gonna take off. I got lots of rigs to build. I got stuff to do. I'm still wishing I was at the G6. All you guys that have fun there, just so you know, we had 243 people. That's drivers, plus people watching. It was insane. That's it, that's all. Like always, like, subscribe, and share. Follow along on Instagram under VS_Customs. Check me out on Facebook on Tim Bluer, aka VS Customs. And check out my builds. I'm going to be getting back more and more building and having fun and doing the scale stuff. As always, cheers.